Hello everyone and welcome to my kitchen. Today we will be making macarons, not to be confused with macaroons. Macaroons are more like a meringue coconut dessert, I would say. How would you describe macaroons?
They're coconut. They're just kind of like a haystack.
Like a haystack, like a coconut pastry thing?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not what we're making today. Today we're making macarons, which are like sandwich cookies, but the cookie themselves are a very specific type of texture. My first exposure with macarons were from watching the Food Network all the time with Autumn, and on the show they would be very particular about their macarons. Like the bottom of the cookie needs to be symmetrical, and it needs to be like this glossy smooth on top, and so I was pretty intimidated by the idea of macarons. I didn't really know what the taste was like. I assumed it was just like a sandwich cookie, kind of like a puffy Oreo. And one day, Autumn's friend bought her a box of Costco macarons, and that idea was kind of more solidified because the Costco pre-packaged macarons, the texture of it isn't how macarons should be. They
were in a store, I don't think they were fresh.
Yeah, it's no fault of Costco's. It's just
poor friend
macarons. You know, kind of how it would be if you got a prepackaged box of cookies compared to baked cookies. So fast forward, and Autumn and I went to Disneyland for our anniversary, which was near Halloween time. And we thought it'd be really fun to try a bunch of Halloween treats and then review them 1 out of 5. I tried the Mummy macarons, and they were by far my favorite treat. They were 5 out of 5, and Autumn did a whole blog post about it. I'll post it down below. And recently, Autumn did a blog post for Mother's Day about decorating macarons, and she recently purchased them from a bakery, and they were also really good. I wouldn't say as good as Cookies and Cream Mummy macarons from Disneyland, but they were still pretty good, and we tried each of them, and we liked most of them, I'd say.
Yeah, they were good.
That's what really solidified the idea of macarons to me. The outside shell is supposed to be more like a hard shell, basically, but the inside is kind of gooey. It's not dry like you would think. It's just, the texture is really pleasant, and then it's just normal cookie filling. And so recently, one of my favorite food YouTubers, I think it was just a couple months ago, he posted a video about how macarons shouldn't be intimidating. You really have to decide why you are baking in the first place, and if you're baking for the prestige, to get compliments, to get attention from your peers, to get praise, then in that case, if you're on the Food Network, you want your macarons to look perfectly. But if you're just gonna eat them, and you just want to make your loved ones happy by giving them delicious food, you shouldn't really care about the look and more about the taste. And like Autumn always says whenever I mess up in the kitchen, we're just gonna eat them. So we're just gonna eat these, don't be intimidated. It's a long weekend. At the time of filming this, it's Memorial Day. I found a recipe online. Let's go ahead and give it a go, see how they turn out, and I'll talk you through it step by step. All right, so first things first, we're going to add a cup of almond flour into our food processor. I know almond flour is really expensive, and I really did try to find a substitute for it, but I think almond flour is needed for macarons to get the texture of the cookie that you're looking for. Now we're going to add 2 cups of powdered sugar. Ooh, this is gonna be kind of difficult in this small space. We'll just slowly get in our powdered sugar. We need a blender. We really should have gotten a funnel for this. Yeah. This is going great already.
Go.
We're going to blend this up, get it nice and soft and sifted, I guess. So this step isn't really working for us. We're just gonna mix it up with a knife and get it all separated. I think it should be good. Because our blender, it just is making a pocket at the bottom and it's not really mixing this up. We'll just do this by hand. Sometimes you just got to improvise. And now let's transfer this to a mixing bowl now that we dirtied the food processor and the blender for no reason. So So I'll just give this one whisking over since we weren't able to put it in the food processor, and add a pinch of salt. I'm going to do 2 just for good measure. That didn't seem like a lot. Okay, should be good. Now I'm going to beat 3 egg whites until they are frothy with a hand mixer. You could probably use a stand mixer as well. Now let's gently fold in our egg mixture into our almond flour mixture. Be sure not to overmix. I'm pretty sure if we overmix, it won't give us the consistency that we want in our cookie. Now that we have our mixture, let's put it into a piping bag. All right, so let's see how good my piping skills are. We're going to do 1.5 inch circles for each cookie. In Food Network, they always do like this little flick thing, but I don't think I'm going to do it.
It's all on the wrist is what they say.
I think this batter is like too thick, it kind of feels like. Huh, we'll see.
Can I try?
Yeah, please do. Alright, so you can see the ones that I did and the one that Autumn did. She's going to be doing the rest of these because they look pretty.
Okay. You just don't want to work.
No, look at yours. It's all on the wrist. Such technique. Have you been watching Food Network without me? Whoa.
That was not good,
you even got the flick.
I have not been watching Food Network without you. I've been watching it with you.
You should have been doing this the whole time. Why am I the one on camera?
Because I didn't get ready today.
Look at that. You're watching an artist at work.
People are like, oh, cringing at home. We don't know what we're doing, but we're having fun.
Those are way good. Now that we have our beautiful cookies laid out by Autumn, let's hit it against the counter. Oh, that's making our powdered sugar fly everywhere. But this is going to let out any air bubbles in our cookies. So now we need to wait for these to sit for 30 minutes to 60 minutes till it gets a nice shell. In the meantime, we can make our filling. While we wait for our cookies to harden, let's make our filling. We're going to beat 1 cup of butter until it's light and smooth. Now let's mix in a lot of powdered sugar, 3 1/3 cup with our butter. While I'm mixing the butter and the powdered sugar, let's add 3/4 cup of crushed Oreos. Now I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, good to go. A pinch of salt.
Okay.
And 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Now that we mixed our buttercream, let's throw it in the refrigerator until we need it. I'm gonna put these in the oven at 300 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. And this is what they look like cooked. I wish they rose just a little bit. I wonder if it's the kind of almond flour that I used. But once these are cooled, we can fill them and I'm sure they will taste delicious. Once our cookies are cooled, we can put on the filling. So I just put our filling in a piping bag. In hindsight, I'm not sure if I would have refrigerated this filling because it made it really cold and thick, so it was kind of hard to pipe out, but we'll try it now. Be very careful with your cookies. You can't smash them together because they are very brittle and they will collapse. Just gonna do a little circle going around. And then we put the cookie on top. There you have it, a beautiful cookies and cream macaron. So here's our finished product, our cookies and cream macaron. They look pretty good in my opinion, probably because of Autumn's beautiful piping abilities. As far as they taste, they're really good. Not as good as Disneyland cookies and cream macaron, but it's pretty hard to imitate Disneyland food. In hindsight, like I said, I would have put the cookies and cream out to soften up a little bit because it was really thick. I think I would have used a different almond flour too to kind of give it a better texture because it really had those thick chunks of almond. But as far as taste, they're pretty good. So that should be everything. Thanks for watching. Bye!